Good morning, everyone. My name is Anne-Marie Band. Today is Tuesday, August 1st, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. We got some economic news that the market is not taking very nicely. Europe was red today, mostly because China came out and said, oh yes, everything's really a lot weaker than we think. And we continue to see this giant ball of whatever that's growing in the Eurozone, with their primary economic engine being Germany continuing to put out really weak numbers. It is a problem. All right, so what are we doing? Well, we're pulling back to test a support zone. Where's the most likely support zone? It's old resistance. So if we think about this notion and we say old resistance, new support, what does that ultimately mean? It means that if there's a logical place for traders to pile in on the bullish side, after spiking up over this zone here, it's going to be at or around this area. Now, as I mentioned, there's a pervasive bid in the market where the shorts are buying to cover. And that means that they've gone short, and now they have to unwind, and so that means they're going to buy. All right, and so if they keep buying to get out of their trades, we're going to see these higher lows over time. Now, the flip side of that is you've got to end up respecting the market at some juncture, and the market is going to tell you ultimately whether the risks you're taking for going 100% long and not worrying about any shorts and not saying, hey, listen, I better be a little bit wise here, that could come and bite you. I don't know when, but it could, okay? So what are we looking for? Support. Where should the chart have held? Well, it should have held this wick, the low of yesterday. It's broken it. So who's in charge? Well, the selling is in charge right now, okay? So traders are selling off into this zone, and you can see them starting to flesh out this area. So 15,731 remains the floor. Okay, so if you're looking at saying, hey, listen, I want to go long, I would say, how about waiting until it fleshes out and retests old resistance that comes in new support? That's a very legitimate place to come in and take a trade. Could it be that it's here and it's bouncing up? Yeah, it could be. But give it a little time to flesh out. And we'll see. We're looking at the same kinds of levels. All right. Looking at market action that's got alternating candlesticks here in the NQ. Not so much in the ES. Right. We've had 3 weeks in a row that's just really moving up. We've got some expansion away from the moving average. We could have a little reversion to the mean. I would like that. I would think it would be healthy. But take a look. I didn't draw a new line. This is from yesterday. So we can see 45.95.75 holding as a support zone. Buyers are going to try and come in there. Okay? Are they going to win? Well, I have no idea. But I could try there with them. And if I can't get higher, a la above the low of yesterday, which is 45.95.25, and right now I'm at 45.94.75, I'm thinking to myself, I should see if it can go continually shorter, right? Because I've just lost this low, and I tried to hold it for the last 10 minutes or so when I was talking about this in the Qs, and now it's drifting. So to me, this is the fact body that it's going to go through. Where are the first places? Well, people are going to try to buy the dips all the way down, right? So my suspicion is 45.82, 45.81, and then maybe we get lucky and we get to just exhale a little bit on this market instead of just grinding straight up. That is just the most terrifying pattern, right? Because at some juncture, they're going to run out of buyers. And I don't want to be at the top being the last person that bought. That being said, remember what I said yesterday, hey, every new high that they're getting into, they are coming off of. And that's the high, a 3-day high early this morning, and it began to give it up. All right, where will the buyers become stronger and say, all right, that was scary, but I'm off to buying again? And that's 4608, 4609. That's my thought there. All right, let's go to SPY. SPY has had, right, you've got 4 weeks, potentially this one, moving higher. We've got the big employment numbers coming. And what do we have today? Well, we were below the low of the prior day. So now we're going to go to the 50% range of the candle 2 ago. So you can see here, this is why they're choking around this area. They're saying, oh, maybe I'll buy here a little bit. Let's see what's going on. It's an old area of congestion. It was support, and it became resistance, and then it became support again. So they're going to sit around here. Where it's likely? Well, it's likely they come to jam into the whole group here at this 450, 475, 455 area, right? And if they don't hold it, it's all sloppy all the way down into this area. It would be so nice for us just to take a little breath. The problem is we either go savagely down in a hurry or savagely up in a hurry because the market is moving at a much faster pace. It would be very nice if we could just grind a little bit so we can get new price acceptance and shake the trees a little and get this market more stable. It is incredibly unstable moving up like a rocket ship like this. And I know I sound terrible. I sound like the sky is falling. I've just been around a long time, right? I've got a lot of gray hair, and most of it comes from the market, all right? This is just pure savage upside motion. And that's why people say, people who've been around a long time, they go, well, this can't do this. I got to short some of it. And yet, it continues upward. And so, if you've got deep pockets, you can hold your trade for a long time, but after a while, it starts to really hurt. And that's what's happened with a few hedge funds that are unwinding. Now, I heard somebody say, actually, I talked to someone who's a manager of a lot of cash, and he said, surprisingly, a lot of hedge funds get this wrong because they try to step in front of these moves, and just when they start to puke, that's when we have ourselves a little rotation. Well, they started to puke this week, okay? And so there's a tremendous amount of motion going on with these funds trying to reposition. You know, maybe that's the signal that we get ourselves a tiny little pullback, just something that says, let me just sit here for a little bit before, you know, whatever happens. We either go to the moon or check the basement for dead bodies. I don't know. Whichever way it goes, what we have to do is remain tactical. So what's happening today? Well below the low of yesterday. Where are we coming into? Prior congestion. What does that mean? Buyers are going to try and hold it. If they can't, they're going to go down to a more reasonable area between 378 and 375. But that's what we are looking at, right? We could be building ourselves a little flag. I don't know. We'll see. All right? Big things to look at. Oil. I don't know if they've gotten the gold right, so we won't look at gold there. I'll look at gold here. Beautiful downside fade. As you know, I am short the gold complex for now. I do not believe it is going to do what a lot of people think it's going to do. In the near term. Far term, maybe. Near term, not so much. Okay, so sideways pressure for crude coming right to this area. 82.67 the top, 80.35 the bottom. If the job numbers come in a little bit nasty towards the end of the week, we should see a little bit of risk off here, some profit taking up to the range. All right, I still believe we're landlocked. I still believe there are much bigger powers that are trying to hold this price action down, particularly as we sit in the election cycle. Take a look at the monthly formation. We are inside of last month's candle. If we cannot breach the high at around 82, 82.67, we will move to the 50% range in this candlestick action because of this heavy congestion. That's 76.66. I'm waiting for a fade to buy in. I don't want to be short oil. I do not. Any geopolitical thing, and I'm feeding pigeons in the park. What I want to do is wait for it to fade, hang on, and then I'll go long again. All right, that's it for the morning report. We've got a number of excellent earnings trades that you can find with us on the Benzinga Pro platform. We've also got StockTwits, a lot of places to see us. Stay alert, trade well, and I'll see you all tomorrow.